Hello students, welcome to your online class, and in today's session we will study about menstrual cycle. So as you all know, the reproductive cycle in case of primates is known as menstrual cycle, and it consists of total 28 days. During these 28 days, one ovum is released every month, and the first menstruation occurs at the age of puberty, and this is known as menarche. The first menstruation which occurs at the age of puberty, which is 11 to 13 years, is known as menarche. And then the cycle continues till the age of 45 or 50. After that, the cycle stops. And when this cycle stops, we call it as menopause. So the fertility period in case of female is between menarche and menopause, during which the female can release an ovum which can fertilize with the sperm, and the female can conceive and is, you can say, fertile. Now we will study about the phases of menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle consists of 4 phases. The first phase is menstruation phase or menstrual phase. This phase consists of 3 to 5 days, during which the bleeding occurs. The uterus wall, or you can say the endometrium lining of the uterus, breaks and bleeding occurs through the vagina. So this phase consists of 3 to 5 days. The second phase is known as proliferative phase, and it is also known as follicular phases. Why follicular? Because development of follicles which are present inside the ovary takes place in this phase. So this phase lasts from day 6 to day 13. And then we have the third phase, which is known as ovulatory phase. During this phase, the ovulation process takes place. Means during this phase, the ovary will release an ovum, and this phase, or you can say the ovulation, occur on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, and first day is counted as the first day of the menstruation or first day of the period. So from that day we will count, and on the 14th day ovulation will occur. Now the fourth phase is luteal or secretory phase. This phase consists of total 14 days. That means from day 15 to day 28. And then again the cycle will continue from menstrual phase if the fertilization does not occur. Now these phases are under the control of 2 sets of hormone, and those 2 sets of hormones are very important. The one set of hormone is pituitary hormones. The 2 pituitary hormones are LH, means luteinizing hormone, and FSH, means follicle stimulating hormone. The other set is ovarian hormone. The ovarian hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is released by the developing follicle, and progesterone is released by corpus luteum. So now we will do the each of the phase of the menstrual cycle in detail. So here let's do the graph. This is day 1. Center में let's draw day 14. This is day 28. So here let's day 7, and this is day 21. So first of all we will see how the uterus, how the wall of the uterus, or you can say how the endometrium of the uterus undergo various changes during the cycle, or from day 1 to day 18. So during this cycle, the wall of the uterus undergoes various changes. Means initially during the menstrual phase, the wall of the uterus will be broken down. So this is the wall of the uterus, and this wall has lot of supplies of blood vessels. So these are blood vessels. The wall has broken down, and as a result of which there is bleeding. So this is till day 1 to day 5, and this phase is menstrual phase, during which the bleeding will occur. The next phase is secretory or the next is proliferative or follicular phase. So as the name indicates, follicular phase means the development of follicles takes place, and the follicles will release a hormone, estrogen. The developing follicles will release an hormone, estrogen, which is important for maintain or for the growth of the uterus lining. So the wall of the uterus will again starts forming. So here you can say or you can see that the wall of uterus has started thickening again. So first of all, the wall will break during menstrual phase, and then during the successive phases again the wall will start thickening. These are the blood vessels inside this endometrium lining of the uterus. So this is how the wall of the uterus or the endometrium will undergo various changes during this cycle. Now let's see the development or the changes which take place in the ovary. So during this phase, I am drawing here the diagram of the ovary. So this is the ovary. Now you know that the ovary has a rich supply of capillaries. So this is the capillaries. Now these capillaries contain blood, and blood will bring a very important hormone, that is follicle stimulating hormone. The follicle stimulating hormone will stimulate the follicles which are present here. These are the follicles which are present. These are the primary follicles. The primary follicles to get mature into secondary follicle, and then into tertiary follicle, and then into the mature Graafian follicle. So this is the primary follicle, this is secondary, tertiary, and this is Graafian follicle. So these hormones, these follicles are developing because of this follicle stimulating hormone, because of the presence of this hormone which is released by pituitary. And these hormones then release estrogen. This estrogen will maintain the will help in the growth of the lining of the uterus. Now this is till day 13. Now what will happen on day 14? So this is day 14. On day 14, because of the presence of this LH, this hormone, because of the presence of this high amount of luteinizing hormone, the Graafian follicle will break. The Graafian follicle will break and ovum will be released. This is the Graafian follicle which has broken down, and it will release an ovum. This is the oocyte, secondary oocyte, or you can say ovum, which has released on day 14. Now the left out structure of the follicles will develop a structure which is named as corpus luteum. And students, because of this corpus luteum, this phase, day 14 to day 20, this phase is known as secretory or luteal phase. So why it is known as luteal phase? Because of the presence of this corpus luteum. This corpus luteum either will remain or it can degenerate. Now we will see under what condition it will persist and under what condition it will degenerate. So if here on day 14, if the ovum is released and if it get fertilized, that means if pregnancy is established. So if it get fertilized, this corpus luteum will remain and it will not degenerate. But if this oocyte is not fertilized by the sperm, So there will be no need of this corpus luteum and the corpus luteum will degenerate. That means कि अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन होगी तो कॉर्पस ल्यूटम परसिस्ट करेगा, अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं होती तो कॉर्पस ल्यूटम जनरली क्या हो जाता है, डीजनरेट हो जाता है. Corpus luteum secretes a very important hormone and that hormone is progesterone. This progesterone is important for maintaining this uterus lining. So if the corpus luteum degenerates, if it degenerates, the wall of the uterus will also break. And if the wall of the uterus breaks, that means we have started a next cycle, again a menstrual phase. Now this is how the uterus wall undergoes various development. This is the wall of the uterus and these are the changes which occur in ovary during this menstrual cycle. Now we will see the level of these two hormones, how the level of hormones changes from day 1 to day 28. Now again we will draw a graph day 1 to day 28 and then we will see how these changes takes place. So first of all, these two pituitary hormone LH and FSH, although they are released by pituitary, but pituitary is, as you all know, is under the control of another structure and this structure is actually hypothalamus. So hypothalamus, this is hypothalamus and this controls the pituitary gland. This is pituitary, this is the anterior lobe of the pituitary, this is the posterior lobe of the pituitary and the pituitary gland, this is the pituitary gland, it is under the control of hypothalamus by a portal circulatory system. So this is the portal circulatory system and this is how the hypothalamus controls the anterior end of the pituitary. So hypothalamus release a very important hormone which is named as GnRH. GnRH means gonadotropin releasing hormone. So hypothalamus releases gonadotropin releasing hormone and this hormone stimulates the pituitary gland and or you can say stimulates the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland to release two sets of hormone, LH and another is FSH. LH is luteinizing hormone and FSH is follicle stimulating hormone. Now these two hormones will enter into the blood and through the blood it will reach the ovary. These are the capillaries which will bring the hormone here. Now these two hormones will influence the development of follicles in the ovary and also affect the other functions in the body. Now let's draw the graph. Again we have drawn day 1, day 14 and this is day 28. Let's mark day 7 as well as day 21 and let's see what happens during this cycle. So during the start of the cycle, the amount of gonadotropin is increased. So this is gonadotropin and the amount of gonadotropin is increased. So this is GnRH. This is not given in NCERT, but you should know that the amount of GnRH increases. Now what this GnRH will do, it will stimulate the anterior lobe of pituitary to release LH and FSH. So as a result, the amount of FSH also increases. Okay. Now FSH will stimulate the ovary to develop its follicles. तो जब follicles develop होंगे तो it will release one more hormone which is estrogen. तो यहाँ पर हम एक और ग्राफ बना लेते हैं और यहाँ पर हम day 1 to day 28 ओवेरियन हॉर्मोन्स के लिए भी साथ साथ ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. So this is day 14, mid of the cycle, day 14, 7th day and 21 day. यहाँ पर हम कर रहे हैं, we are talking about pituitary hormones and here we are talking about ovarian hormones. So सबसे पहले हमने क्या पढ़ा कि hypothalamus will release a hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone. This gonadotropin releasing hormone will stimulate anterior lobe of pituitary to release LH and FSH. Now this FSH will move into the ovary and it will stimulate the follicles to develop from primary to secondary and secondary to tertiary. And then these follicles will release estrogen. So what will happen? The amount of estrogen will start increasing slowly. And on the day 14, the amount of estrogen is comparatively higher. And then after ovulation, the amount of estrogen will again decrease. And now here you have to remember that the low level of the estrogen will inhibit the secretion of LH and FSH. That's why you will see here that this is FSH and the level of FSH first increases and then it decreases and then it again increases on day 14 and then it again decreases till day 28. Now this decrease is due to the presence of this estrogen. One point that you have to remember, which is very important, that low estrogen inhibit LH and FSH, while high level of estrogen stimulate secretion of LH. This is very important and this is not given in NCERT. So the level of FSH first increases, then decreases due to presence of this estrogen here, and then it will again increases because the level of estrogen here is also high. So this high amount of estrogen will stimulate LH and FSH to get at its highest level, to attain its peak level, and after ovulation the amount will again decrease. So after ovulation the amount of GnRH is also decreased. Here the LH, although the amount of GnRH is high, but LH will maintain a particular stabilized level because of the presence of estrogen and then it attains its highest level. इसको हम थोड़ा सा ऊपर बना लेते हैं so that we have more space. यहाँ पर बना लेते हैं, attain its peak level, and this is also known as LH surge. This LH surge induces this Graafian follicle to get rupture and release the oocyte. The amount of estrogen first increases till day 14, then decreases after ovulation, then again increases and then decreases. Now we will draw, this is estrogen and then we will, let's see what happens to progesterone. Now you know that the progesterone is only released by this corpus luteum. Progesterone और कहीं से release नहीं हो रहा, only it is released by corpus luteum. और कॉर्पस ल्यूटम हमारा जाके आता है ल्यूटियल फेज में या सिक्रीटरी फेज में. तो ये जो कॉर्पस ल्यूटम है दिस विल सिक्रीट. तो प्रोजेस्टेरॉन का अमाउंट क्या होगा, पहले कम में लेस एंड देन यहाँ पर ल्यूटियल फेज में इट्स अमाउंट विल इंक्रीज. और अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं होती, अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन हो जाती है फिर तो एस्ट्रोजन का अमाउंट हाई मेंटेन रहेगा. But अगर normal menstrual cycle है and if fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum will degenerate. And if the corpus luteum degenerates, the amount of progesterone will also fall down. As a result of low level of progesterone, the wall of the uterus again will break and next menstrual cycle continues. So this is how the whole cycle takes place. Few points that you have to remember. The first point, the function of FSH is to stimulate follicles to develop from primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary and then to Graafian follicle. The function of LH, this is LH. The function of LH is to break the Graafian follicle so that the oocyte is released. And it attained its highest peak on day 14, during which the ovulation process occurs. The function of estrogen is to, there two functions, दो functions है इसके. पहला कि ये क्या करता है, it stimulates the growth of uterus lining and it is released by this developing follicles. और प्रोजेस्टेरॉन के बारे में भी हम कर लेते हैं. दिस इज द ग्राफ ऑफ द प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. This hormone progesterone is released by corpus luteum, and this hormone maintains the wall of the uterus so that the pregnancy can be established. So this is how this whole process works.